welcome back to the Codex Podcast. I'm your host Victor, and this is my co-hominid Connor. How are you doing?
Good. A bit tired. We're recording a bit late in the day.
Yeah.
That is mainly my fault, but who's pointing fingers here?
It's all good. I mean, apes don't have timepieces, so we have a great excuse for that.
True. We have not invented time yet.
No, exactly. When we get around to it, maybe we'll have a more regular schedule, but for now...
Yeah. We need to evolve a bit first. It's only been a few months.
True. I mean, evolution, it takes thousands of years.
Yeah. Man, if we're still doing this after 1,000 years... Whew.
Yeah, maybe we'll get better by then.
Hopefully.
What you been up to this week?
I haven't been doing much. It's been my first week, basically away from uni life.
Right, true.
I had my first interview on Wednesday. First ever interview. I think it went really well, but nice. I don't really have anything to compare it to. So I don't. So I don't know if it went well or if it didn't.
But I guess you kind of know, like, from the feels, like, if it went really poorly, I feel like you'd know.
Yeah. No, I felt confident, and I answered the questions well. They said I answered the questions well, and it seemed to be a good vibe. So.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and they're only interviewing 3 other people, so I got a 25% chance.
Oh damn! So, wait, what? 25? Oh, 3 other people. Yeah.
3 other people.
I thought you said 3 people. I was like, that's not how math works.
I got a degree for a reason.
I had the smooth brain here.
Yeah. But no, looking forward to hearing back from that. Should hear back like Monday, I think. Probably. I think they said.
Oh wow, cool. That's actually pretty quick.
Yeah. So should be good. Yeah, but nothing else too much. Yeah. What about you?
For me, I guess this note was from a little while back because that's when we did the planning. But there was a draft I did at one point, which you were there for as well. We drafted a blue-red Innistrad Crimson Vow deck, and pretty much got handed all the good blue and red cards. Nobody else in the pod seemed to be blue or red because all the cards just kept wheeling. And that was probably the easiest 7-0 I've had for a long time. That deck was sweet. Oh, honestly, a highlight. I enjoy blue-red, so I think it might be my favorite draft archetype. Like, maybe even more than just, like, green-blue ramp used to be.
Your highlight of the week seems to always be magic-related. Do you do anything else?
Nah. No, it is usually magic related because I guess the rest of the stuff I do is mostly like, it's like work, play, and sleep, and my play is a lot of magic. So,
true.
But
wow.
And I'm not saying work is bad. Work's been pretty good.
You played tennis with me this week, and that's not even a highlight. Not even.
That's
a highlight.
That's true. Well, see, if we played tennis and we got handed all the good blue-red cards, it would also be a highlight. But It was just good old tennis session. But that was a pretty good highlight, that's true. The sky was wacky and awesome. It looked like somebody cranked up the contrast and a good sunset.
It did look really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like something out of like a horror film or something.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's another highlight from my week. A non-magic related highlight.
The sky.
The sky. No, I mean, yeah, kind of. But going outside, like, the weather's been pretty good. It's been getting warmer. And we just figured out that we live not next to just one school, but 2 schools. And the schools are empty at the moment, at least during the evenings, which I guess makes sense. It's like a really nice park. So we went to play Frisbee tonight.
That's really nice.
At the park, and it was really nice. It was good to get outside a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just a bit of fresh air, That's a highlight. There we go. Yeah, I can do other things. Sometimes.
We did it. We got it out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to take us through the results for this week?
Yes. We had a huge event last weekend. First major, like, big scale event, paper event, I should say.
Ooh. What was that?
It was in Las Vegas. It was Modern and Standard, I think it was.
Sorry, what was that? What did you say? I misheard.
It was Vegas! I don't even know why you put that in there, but
I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Sure. But no, the top 8 was modern. And we got 7 different deck lists, which was really cool to see in such a huge event. So it was taken down by Edwin Colleran. Congratulations to him on Black Red Lurrus. Stock list, something that we've seen pop up every now and then.
Stock Black Red. Hold on, I don't know about this Black Red deck. I mean, is it just Giant Saga without the green?
What?
Or is it?
Sure. Yeah, it's Ragavan, Darcy, Voidwalker, and Croxer, and Black Red mid-range deck.
Right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. But,
right.
But interestingly, I've only seen this list with 4 main deck Voidwalker, but the list that won the event was playing 2 in the main, 2 on the sideboard, which is quite interesting.
What do you reckon that is? Is that like a hedge against certain things? Like, is Voidwalker just kind of getting removed too easily, or?
Maybe. It's not as good as what people originally thought. Well, obviously it can't block, which is a big problem.
True.
And yeah, it dies to a lot of removal, and it sometimes it's just not relevant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you do want cards like that against the graveyard decks like Dredge that could pop up out of nowhere. It's good against Reanimator as well, which has been popping up recently.
True,
as well.
True. I was gonna say, isn't what's it called? Sanctifier and Vic just bit it, but then I realized that's not the colors we're talking about. So
no, that is a double white card.
I think some decks in Modern are still bound by the tethers of mana restrictions.
Barely these days. Very barely. But we also had 4-color Creativity, which had a split of Emrakul and Sarah's Emissary, which I'm not really a fan of. I feel like
Sarah's Emissary, yeah.
I feel like if I want to do something like this, I want it to be consistent and know what I'm hitting each time.
Yeah.
Having a split of these 2 cards just doesn't. I don't know. It just goes against what I think.
Yeah, I can kind of see what they're going for, because one of those probably wins you the game, and then if you get up to 5 mana, you can do X2 and get both of them.
That's true, actually. That's true. Yeah.
And since they're not legendary, like I guess because if you had 2 Emrakuls, you wouldn't be able to like keep them on the field.
That's true. So I guess maybe they're thinking that they can get to that second token fast enough.
Pretty consistently, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But it is interesting to see, because I haven't seen that before either, so...
That makes sense. If you think that your deck is good enough at stalling out the game to get to 2 different tokens, or 2 tokens.
Yeah.
That's good, actually. Actually, I'll talk about that list later. Jun Saga, normal stuff, stock list, not too much of a change there. Hardened Scales, which I think it was last week we saw there was Hardened Scales won an event or something. You were talking about?
My memory doesn't go back that far.
I think Hardened Scales won an event last weekend,
right.
So that might be some inspiration there. They're playing Ingenious Smith, which is really cool. Seeing that a bit in the Hammer Time lists.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see it pop up there as well. Which another thing that was really cool is a Witch's Oven in
Wait, what?
the Saga Tutor package. I'm assuming it's for Hangerback Walker mainly.
Oh, so you can second and get all the tokens?
Yeah.
Surely there's got to be a better sacrifice outlet, right? Like,
I think maybe not at 0 or 1 mana. I was thinking Thronogeth, but that's 2 mana.
Right, and I was thinking the what's it called? Like, it's like a pyre thing or something that draws you a card, but that's also 2 mana, I think. Yeah, maybe that's the sack outlet.
And it generates an artifact that you can sack to Ravager. Rajiva.
Ragavan?
Everything's a Ragavan now. But no, I thought that was really cool. Some cool innovation.
That is neat, actually.
Yeah. We had 4-color control. Pretty stock. Interestingly, though, I saw that it lost to the... spoiler. I didn't plan this very well. Spoiler, the Infect, actually. Okay. So I wanted to skip Infect because I was going to leave that to last, but then I read these notes and I'm like, God damn it, I messed this up. But it lost to the Infect list, which I thought would be a really good matchup for a 4-color control deck that's playing Force Negation, Fury, Solitude, Teferi, Ending, Ren and 6.
Yeah, surely that's an easy matchup.
You would think so. But the Infect deck was playing Sultai. It wasn't just blue-green or green-black. It was playing all 3 colors. Green, blue, black. And it was splashing for Phyrexian Crusader.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, which has... It's a 2/2 with Infect, and it has protection from red and white. Which...
happen to be the colors of removal in Modern at the moment.
Exactly, because there's not that much black removal going on.
Yeah,
at the
nobody's
moment.
playing push anymore, are they?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Some decks are playing a couple of, but it's not really a...
Yeah, like the Lurrus decks, like the black-red Lurrus decks playing like some number of pushes, but not even that many. But they're mainly relying on Lightning Bolt and Unholy Heat. White is relying on Solitude, Prismatic Ending.
Yes.
It gets around to
I've seen some
Fairy.
portable holes.
Yeah, portable hole gets around to Fairy. Gets around a lot of different removal spells. So I think for Infect to have won that matchup, I'm assuming Phyrexian Crusader did a lot of carrying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that seems like a really cool way to get around this meta. Like, if everyone's playing red and white removal spells, that seems like such a powerful thing to do.
Yeah, actually, do you reckon, is that a good sideboard option for, like, general decks that are playing black? Like, if you're not playing Infect, do you just chuck a Phyrexian Crusader on the sideboard just because some decks can't deal with it? Is that where we're at, or is it not quite that good?
Nah, I don't think so. I think you would have better options. Because it is an underpowered creature. Like,
what if you're playing, like, black-white Hammer Time or a Stoneforge deck, or, like, something that has equipment that you can, like, pump up the Crusader? Or is that still a bit underpowered? Like, you want to be Infect for sure?
Yeah, I think you do want to be Infect.
Right.
Yeah, I can't name better options. Like, I feel like you would want to play something like Liliana instead, or something like...
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's kind of just, like, also a good threat.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to cut Lurrus. Oh, wait, you also have to cut Lurrus for
yes,
Crusader.
exactly.
Wait, an Infect deck that's not playing Lurrus?
What? Lurrus hasn't... I guess blue-green lists weren't playing Lurrus, but black-green I guess would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen some black-green Infect lists, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I didn't notice they had Lurrus. Weird.
No, I don't know. It's been a while since
though.
I've actually seen an Infect deck, if I may admit it.
Yeah, because it kind of just got overtaken by Hammer Time.
Yeah.
But that's quite interesting, because I heard a discussion a few days ago where people are saying that Hammer Time killed Infect. That it just became the better Infect deck. Right. But there was actually a period of a few months between Infect being a meta deck and Hammer Time, where Infect fell off. And it just didn't exist anymore. So Hammer Time didn't really... It killed the deck.
It came out afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of put the nail in the coffin, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see it come back. I'm curious to hear why they chose to play Infect. That seems to work out for them though. So.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there's no hammer list in this, right?
That's
true. I don't know. There's still some results to go, but I haven't heard the hammer.
There's two more lists. They're not Hammer Time. They're Amulet Titan.
Close enough.
2 Amulet Titan decks. Now, I look pretty stupid here, where I said last week that Amulet Titan was... I don't think Amulet Titan is a meta deck. And it seems to keep putting up results. The lists are pretty stock from what I've seen in the results, the Vegas results. Still got the Khan, Great Creator, Wish Package, stuff like that. The usual. But your results say differently. Would you like to take us through that?
Yeah, sure. I'll save the Titan discussion for after, but I'll just go through the results for now. So this was the Sunday challenge. So it wasn't quite Vegas, but it was.
Are you gotta put more effort in than that?
Vegas. I think that might be one of the worst things I've said all day. I just think of Marcus from Borderlands. Oh, I am never trying that again. So Mr. Cafouillet comes out on top. This was a stock blue-white control list, but looks pretty solid. Just what we've come to sort of expect from blue-white control. But yeah, I mean, solid deck. Won the event. Congratulations. After that, we had Living End, which I wrote is back, but was it ever really gone, or was it just lurking in the shadows? I haven't seen too many Living Ends in the top 8s for a while.
Thank God. Kill the deck, please. Get rid of it.
I don't even know where I sit on that anymore, because I have the deck, but like practically all of it. And I used to like it, but now I just don't really want to play it. But if it dies, then maybe I want to play it, because I'll be like...
But that's just you. That's just you. You don't want to play meta decks.
Yeah. But you know, it's a conundrum for me, because I'm like, what do I do with a deck? Right now it's just sitting in a cupboard.
I mean, you could just sell it as a whole deck.
Maybe I should, honestly, and like just get some other cool decks together or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, 2 blue-red Murktide lists, practically identical and fairly stock. But I noticed both were playing 2 copies of Dress Down in the side, and when I first saw that, I was like, I did a quick double take. I was like, is there a thing in the ice in the deck? I can't see anything in the ices. But then I was thinking, is that for Saga tokens? Like, it kills the tokens on Saga and draws you a card?
Yeah, it'll be for Saga and Elementals.
Right. Oh, wait, why Elementals? It makes them lose abilities so they don't, like, trigger the exile, is it?
Yeah, so they don't get the effect. The creature will stay in play. The creature will stay in play.
Right, like Torpor Orb,
but,
temporary Torpor Orb kind of thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Interesting. Is that stock? Is that standard? I've not noticed that before.
Probably not in Murktide lists, no.
Right. Yeah, 2 copies in both, which is interesting. I guess they were probably both sort of inspired by the same source. But, pretty awesome to see. Otherwise, 4 color blink. This was one of them Urion decks. There was 1 meddling mage and 1 wandering mind as pretty awesome targets for tutors. And I just have a note here that ephemerates, nobody knows how to play the right numbers, or like what the right number is to play. Because last week we had some decks playing like 2, some decks playing 4. This list is playing 3. I think people are still trying to work out like how many ephemerates is too many. I still have a hard time thinking any less than 4 is correct, but I haven't played the deck. So.
It really depends on how many creatures you have.
Yeah.
Because the list I'm wanting to play plays 4, but I'm wanting to play Spreading Sea, so I might cut it down to 3.
Right. So this list was playing the tutor the one that gets stuff for green and white. Eladamri's Call? Yeah, that one. But I guess it was also playing brought back, so that kind of acts as another ephemerate. Maybe
that's true. Yeah, that makes sense then.
But yeah, sweet list. And a Jund Saga list, which was pretty stock as well. But I keep seeing Doomblades showing up, and every time I see a Doomblade, I'm like, "There's no way that this can't possibly be the removal spell of choice for sideboards." Like,
this is the notes I've written.
This is I've read your notes, but I'm gonna pretend like I haven't read them, because I'm pretty sure you're right. But like, Inferno Grasp, Power Kill, Dreadbore, Terminate, Angrass Rampage, like they're all really good removal spells. And I was thinking about this, I was like, oh wait, okay, Dreadbore's sorcery, like I can kind of see that. But then Terminate, it's literally just destroy a creature at instant speed, and there's no non-black restriction. Like the decks are already playing red and black that are playing Doomblade, so surely. Right?
No. The issue with Terminate is it's another restrictive mana cost card in your deck. Like, it can be tough sometimes because you got Wrenn and 6, Abrupt Decay, Terminate. Is the list playing Croxer?
Let me actually have a look. Jund Saga. Let me just load it up real quick. This was... Oh yeah, it's noted here as Zumajund. I was like, wait, I don't see.
Yeah, well, I was so confused just then.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
no,
was not.
It's not playing Croxer. Interesting.
Yeah, just Tamagos and like yeah, it's Zumajund.
But I think they just want that consistency because like name 3 black creatures you want to kill in Modern right now.
Yeah,
I can.
This Shadow's
okay,
gone.
I can name 2. I can name 2.
Can you name 2? Hold on, let me have a think for a second. Like grief in response to an ephemerate.
Well, okay.
But you can't even do that.
No.
Yeah, all right. So you name yours.
Okay, so yeah, I was thinking Dish Shadow.
Yeah, because that's not a. I mean, actually, I have seen some Dish Shadow decks. I've seen a couple. Yeah.
It won the ECG event 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So the Dish Shadow and also Archon of Cruelty.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. But killing that doesn't really do anything because they'll just reanimate it again.
Yeah, although I have had quite a bit of success killing them in the past. The icons, like usually just killing them and like they need another removal spell. It's alright.
That's true, but you've gained so much value off the first icon anyway. Like,
I don't know. I've never had trouble beating that deck. I feel like I just kill it. I spend my 1-for-1 removal. They draw a card and gain 3 life, and then I just roll them with planeswalkers.
Because you're playing tokens.
Yeah.
It protects the planeswalkers from the sacrifice.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah. Where's my tab? But yeah, I think Terminate is the closest you'll get to Doomblade.
Yeah.
I think the other cards I think are nowhere near as good.
Really, even like Power Word Kill.
No,
like
it doesn't.
How many?
It doesn't kill half the creatures it's in the deck for.
Wait, doesn't it? Why? Power Word Kill. Isn't it like angels, demons, dragons?
Yeah, it doesn't kill Murktide Regent.
Oh wait, is Murktide Regent a dragon? It's a regent, I guess. Oh wow, I actually, not gonna lie, I did not know that. That's fair.
You do your research, man.
Yeah, I forgot to look at the creature type.
I said right here, Power Kill doesn't kill Regent.
Oh, well, I was avoiding looking at your notes too much, so I could have the real, the authentic reactions,
okay.
and also look adequately stupid for not realizing that.
But no, Doomblade versus Terminate is definitely a discussion to be had, I think. But there's just not that many black cards you want to kill.
Yeah, I guess if it was in the main board, you'd play Terminate, but in the sideboard, you know what you're bringing it in against, so...
Yeah, the fact that it is a sideboard card means it can be slightly more narrow.
Yeah, I do find that wild, though, like, despite all the power creep and everything that's changed in Magic, after, like, 10 years, or, like, however many... when was Doomblade printed? Doomblade is old, it's ancient, right?
Wait, I have one right here on my desk.
Doomblade...
This one's from M14, the one I have.
The earliest printing I see is from M10.
Okay, so like 11 years ago.
Yeah, like and 12. It still sees play in Modern? What?
That's crazy. That is pretty crazy.
That is pretty wild, right? Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good to see, though. Not everything got pushed out by Modern Horizons.
Yeah, still got the old Doomblade.
And then aside from that, we had a couple of extra decks left, which I've saved to the end, which was the Titan decks, as we were saying. 2 Titan decks in this top 8 as well, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, not even meta.
Yeah, not even meta. The Titan players are like, yo, back at it again. Dusting off the 6/6s. But there are more Titans now, apparently, because... Cultivator Colossus is seeing play in these lists as significant numbers. There's, I think one list had it as a 3 of, and the other list had it as a 4 of.
Yeah.
But that's wild. I mean, I should probably read what Cultivator Colossus does.
I haven't actually got my head around it yet.
Yeah, so it's 7 mana, so 4 green. It's a plant beast, which is an amazing creature type. That's hilarious. It's got trample. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. And when it comes in, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. And if you do, you draw a card and repeat that process.
So let me get this straight.
Yep.
Comes into play, you put a land from your hand into play.
Yep.
You draw a card. If it's a land, you can put into play, draw another card, right?
Yep.
So, as long as you keep hitting lands,
yep,
you can draw a lot of cards.
Yes.
Okay. That seems pretty powerful.
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
if you put if you have an amulet in play.
Well, I think it doesn't actually really. Oh, I guess yeah. Oh no. I was gonna say no. It comes into play tapped, and then I realized.
Yeah.
That's how. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I understand. I understand. You have a point there.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. You can't do like bounce lands. You can't like infinite a bounce land off it.
No.
Which for a moment I thought
one ability, so you can't do that.
But for a deck that plays like 28 or 20, 26 to 28 lands or something, 29 lands this deck was playing, I think. Oh no, this was a different deck I'm looking at. But yeah, anyway, the deck plays tons of lands, so I guess it makes it so you're pretty likely to be able to get a land. And with your bounce lands, you can make sure you have one in hand when this comes down, to start off the chain sort of thing. And then you get a pretty big creature out of it. I mean, you're gonna have like what 10 lands in play or something like that. It's gonna be a 10/10 trample. That's
a big boy. Give it haste with Sun, whatever it's called, Slayer Stronghold.
Oh, Sun Home,
Slayer Stronghold.
Slayer Stronghold, right. But yeah, kind of cool to see that. I mean, not gonna lie, when I saw this card spoiled, I was like, that's a cute card for some commander decks or something.
Yeah, that's a cool commander card.
Yeah.
But no.
That reminds me, actually, I was watching some limited resources today, and it was funny because Marshall was going over some of the rares, and he would often say, I think this is more of like, this is a constructed card, right? And it made me realize that the limited people, when they see a card that's bad, they go, yeah, it's probably for constructed. Just like we go, yeah, it's probably for commander.
Yeah.
It's like the lowest level of insult is like, this card's a constructed card.
Yeah, constructed cards need love too. But
yeah,
I do find it neat that there has been some innovation in these lists.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect. I mean, it's another metric of Modern's health. Despite whatever people feel about it, like objectively, once again, like not only is the meta diverse, but it's also in constant evolution, which is quite cool.
Yeah, it's very hard for Modern to get to a state of being problematic because the card pool is so large. Obviously,
I was gonna say, is it though?
Obviously, with the recent mistakes that Wizards have made, mainly
it's
Oko.
hard for a standard deck to make. No, for a standard set, and then I was like, throw in a Veldrain. But yeah. Like in the normal case, in the normal case, Modern's a good level.
On average, Modern will self-correct. It will be able to adapt to basically almost anything it gets thrown. There's very few exceptions to that. But it is really cool to see things like this, which don't seem too broken, because they can just be interacted with.
Yeah. It still seems like it's possible to just show up with a deck that people don't expect. And as long as it's decent, you can just catch people off guard and get some top 8s.
Modern,
like an event.
Modern, it rewards experience more than your deck choice. Whereas I think in Standard, it's more your deck choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like that's the deck choice will get you to like 80%. And it's just like, can you get that extra 10-15% of your playing ability to be able to win events? But Modern, it's I feel like it's the opposite.
Yeah, I definitely see people who were playing decks that I would not have thought of as good, and doing really well with them just because they're masters of the deck kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's people that just play one deck and will just win a lot with that deck. I remember watching it'll be 2 years ago now. Wow. The SCG circuit, where there was like these two guys on Amulet Titan that would top 8 every single SCG event.
Oh really?
With Amulet Titan, just because they know the deck inside and out and they just know how to play against everything.
And it's still kind of a complicated deck to play. I could not play. I mean, I haven't put the time in or anything, but without a bit of practice, I definitely wouldn't be able to play Amulet Titan. Like, if you just handed me the deck, I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I think it's a lot more streamlined than it used to be.
Right.
Because when I played it, maybe like 3-4 years ago or something,
it used to be harder.
It used to be harder, definitely. Now I think that, especially with Dryad, is made it...
true. Dryad makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, it's made it a lot easier.
I do forget that's the thing.
Yeah.
So sweet, but yeah, that was the events from the weekend. And yeah, just cool to see what's coming out of there. There's definitely, again, like, every time we do this, I feel like I'm pretty excited to see the list that people are bringing to the table.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always excited to see the results.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what's up next week.
Yeah.
Please keep feeding us content. Speaking of content, there's not that much of it this week. But we do have some other topics that we scrounge around for. On Reddit, somebody I should probably give credit to the user.
Daily Evanon is the name.
Yes, that person. Daily Evanon, is that how you play it? Yeah.
Evanon,
posted in defense of companions, which is a pretty in-depth discussion about why they think companions are not as bad as people make them out to be. And I thought that was just interesting to get a little bit of a counter opinion, because there's been a lot of discourse lately about how companions are awful, and just a lot of adverse opinions to them. And while I've got to say overall I'm still not a huge fan of companions, they did make some good points that maybe we should sort of be thinking about things slightly differently. Some of the things they were saying, I think, is that companions reduce deck diversity, or is one of the arguments that that people often make, but that a lot of the decks that we end up seeing companions in are actually very different. I know there's also the counter argument to that there's some cards that just never see it in decks. They never see the light of day in decks, because they would kick out the companion if they were played, and that's just not a sacrifice that people are willing to make. So I feel like it reduces card diversity still, but they might be right that it still doesn't really hurt the diversity of decks per se.
No, it doesn't hurt the diversity of decks. But yeah, the card choices definitely get hurt by that. You see the list they've got here. They've listed eight Lurrus decks here.
Yep.
So you got Jund Saga, Rakdos Midrange, Hammer Time, Zoo, Mill, Burn, Death Shadow, Boggles.
Yep.
How many of those play Mishra's Bauble? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 of them. How many play Thoughtseize? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. It's like how many play Ragavan? I guess 3 of them. 4 actually. There's 4 of them. So
you'll notice that none of the black decks are playing Lily, obviously.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the one of the points of discussion that this person made was the Jund Saga list, the Jund lists choosing to remove Liliana, and playing Lurrus instead. We see that transition from the Boomer Jund to the Zoomer Jund, where they've cut the Liliana, they cut Bloodbraid Elf, and replaced it with Lurrus, with not really that much. There's no downgrade there. I feel there's just no downgrade there. Where Lurrus gives you that. Lurrus is obviously the biggest culprit.
Yeah.
By a long shot. Like there's.
Yeah, I actually think most of the other companions. I think Urion's actually healthy for the format. I think every time I see a Urion deck, I'm like, this is cool.
I think Urion's fine. Lurrus is just way up there, but one of the things is like it's kind of like those things where it's either really good or unplayable. There's no in between.
Right.
Which. They made a good comparison to Moxen, actually, where you've got the original Moxes, 5-color, all the Moxes, but then you've got things like Mox Tantalite, and you've got
right, which is just like slightly downgraded Moxes, but they're just nobody plays them because they're just the restrictions require too much. Like the
They're
thing that
just
makes
so
the boxes
bad.
good is having no restrictions.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
Although I think Mox Amber they managed to make into an interesting card. That card occasionally sees play.
Mox Amber is, I think, the only Mox that is somewhat balanced.
Yeah.
And even then, there is a potential for it to be broken.
Yeah, but I think at the moment, its existence is good because it enables some fun decks that just come out of left field at the moment.
That's true. Yeah. But you don't, with game design, you don't really want to just plan for the for the present, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The game, I feel like game design is you want to diversify your mechanics, diversify what people can do with your game. And there are things like Lurrus that restrict that.
Yeah, it does make it a bit hard because one argument I've heard, this is in counter to this, but it's just like during set reviews and stuff like that, like content creators that are looking out for them for new cards to play in Eternal formats, or in Modern, I guess specifically, it's just like this would be good, but it doesn't fit in a Lurrus deck, and then it just sort of gets written off. But at the same time, still, I do think the point of reminding ourselves that deck diversity hasn't been reduced by it is still worth noting, because personally, I think for me, I do sometimes get bogged down a bit, like looking at the results, and often decks are presented with the companion as the name of the deck first, like, or as part of the name of the deck. So you've got like Lurrus, or I don't know, four color Urion, and then stuff like that. For a while, it was kind of the way it was done, and it gives this impression that it's all just kind of the same decks that are showing up. But I think I'll personally make a bit more of an effort to just like think about decks by their actual name and kind of less by the companion, because it is true that there are quite different decks in a lot of cases.
Urion's a good example of that too, where 4-color Urion could mean 4-color like Omnath control. It could mean
blink,
elementals. It could be
just like those value piles that are like playing other sort of things. Like...
Exactly, it could be 4 or 5 different decks, but they're all just represented by 4-color Urion.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting sort of trap to avoid falling into.
And I think that just comes down to people being lazy, where
I mean, myself included, I'm definitely guilty of this.
Me too. Like I look at something like, for example, if I want to play a mid-range deck, and I want to put black cards in it, I'm going to be like, I should just make this a Lurrus deck, and I just write off the cards. But you still need to be open-minded of these things, where is adding Lurrus really that much better than these other cards that you want to put in? Like Liliana is a good example of that, where it's either, because Liliana is a very powerful card.
Yeah.
It's just, is putting 4 of those in your main deck better in your deck than putting an 8th card in your sideboard, basically, in your hand?
And in some cases, the answer might be yes.
It might be yes. It really depends. Like if you're playing a smallpox list, maybe.
I get it. You want me to buy your lilies?
Okay. That's not where I was going. I didn't actually think of that at all. please buy my lilies.
Maybe.
but there is that it is a real thing where people just don't realize that there is competition for Lurrus.
Yeah.
And people just need to be more open-minded about that.
Yeah, so PSA for everyone out there, and as well as for us, is just to keep minds open, keep the old mind's eye open for deck diversity, deck building, all that stuff. Because I guess it's not as bad as it looks on the surface, even if there definitely is an impact. There were a few more arguments in the article as well, but I think we've sort of covered it more or less.
Yeah.
I guess another interesting thing I saw this week actually was Gavin Verhey. Is that how you say that name?
Verhey.
Actually, Verhey. Yeah.
Verhey. Yeah.
A Wizards guy. I feel like I should be doing his introduction a bit more justice. I mean, people probably know who he is. He's a pretty famous dude. He's like a game designer at Wizards, right?
I don't know. I don't know this guy.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. He's a famous person from Wizards, who works on the game, and he posted a video on his YouTube channel that was just talking about artifact tokens and a bit of the background on them. And that was sort of in the context of blood tokens that have just been made. So I thought it was a little bit interesting to hear about how that sort of came around from a game design point of view. It's actually a real cool video. I'll check it in the description as well if anyone wants to go watch it. But as just a summary, the whole idea of those sort of tokens, artifact tokens that have been called game objects at some points, is that for a while they would chuck draw a card on cards that they wanted to give a bit more upside onto. But the difference between draw a card and not draw a card on a card is pretty huge. And so it helps to be able to give like smaller buffs to cards as they're designing them. And so they wanted to design some resources that allow them to adjust how much of an advantage they can chuck onto cards to be able to turn that dial up or down with more of a fine bit of control sort of thing. And the first attempt to do this sort of tokens, artifact tokens idea was in Khans, and initially the Sultai were actually going to have gold tokens instead of Delve as their mechanic, which I thought was real interesting. I'd never heard of that. But yeah, early on in the set's design, gold was going to be a thing, kind of inspired by the card guild, and they were going to be exactly like treasure tokens. The idea, I think, was that since it was like a 3-color pairs or 3-color groups set, it was going to help with fixing and stuff. But and I don't think Gavin explains why, but they ended up just changing it to Delve. And he does make a note that Delve might have been not necessarily the right choice of mechanic either.
God, it's a terrible mechanic. One thing though, bit of a history lesson here. It wasn't the first time in Khans. It was not. It not? It was in Journey to Nyx. Journey into Nyx.
Oh yeah, the gold token. Yeah, guild. That's the card.
Yeah, we made King Makar the Gold Cursed. He made a gold token.
Oh, as well, right? Because I remember the card guild. King what? Would you say?
Makar. Macar.
Macar. I actually don't know this card. That one. Yes, 2/3 for 4 mana human. And when it becomes untapped, right? It had the inspired text. When it becomes untapped, you exile a creature.
Because I read your notes on that, I was like, no way was Khans the first one that did that. And I had a look, and
there we go. So I guess because Khans was the first time they were planning to do it as a proper set mechanic, like King Makar and Guild were kind of their I think Gavin did mention that they were kind of like inspired by those cards.
Right.
But in those, they were like individual instances where they wanted to make it the actual guild mechanic for Sultai.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, interesting point, because I actually didn't know about that card. I knew about guild, but not about King Makar. So they kind of did it. Like they had multiple cards. That's a start.
Yeah. They're just testing the waters.
Exactly. And I guess they must have liked how that played, because we did end up getting treasure tokens. But yeah, they also tried, during the design of the set, they had claw tokens as well in the red-green pair. I think Ataka was the name of the clan in Dragons of Tarkir. Which actually is kind of cool. I'd never heard of this either, because I guess it's all just like they'd never made it out into the actual game. But they were going to be just +1/+0 equipments with equip 1.
Bone saws.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that idea.
I actually really like that idea. I feel like they could do something with that.
They would play well, yeah. And I think Gavin was pretty keen on them. It sounds like he's still keen to get them into a set at some point. So watch out for Bonesaw tokens in the future. What would they call them? I guess because here they have them labeled as claws. But if it was coming out and say like
Dynasty,
Neon Dynasty as like what even?
Mate,
what's a cyberpunk? What?
I was gonna say lightsabers.
Like, literally call them lights.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
There's no way they do that, but that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, they haven't done a Star Wars crossover yet, have they?
True. Blasters.
Nice.
But yeah, pretty cool idea. Then yeah, there was clues with the investigate mechanic and shadows. Ixalan brought us treasures, and finally we ended up with blood, which was supposed to be a point in between food and clues in terms of their individual value. Even though food ended up being a pretty busted mechanic, food tokens on their own are like just gain through life. It's I guess not a whole lot. So they wanted something in between straight up drawing card off a clue and kind of the less useful ability of just gaining some life off the food. And they came up with blood tokens, which is kind of cool. But yeah, they said that they're still thinking. Well, Gavin said that yeah, at Wizards they're still thinking about other ways they can sort of codify certain mechanics into tokens. And I think we kind of had this discussion a little bit back, but yeah.
We did when they first leaked. Well, they teased the blood tokens. So
yeah.
When they were like, there's game objects in the set, and we were trying
to guess at what they were going to be.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like this move towards adding game objects to it.
Me too.
It definitely adds the bit of a flavor there as well. I'm not so much of a flavor person when it comes to Magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it does add something, and if it adds something to me, then it's got to be good.
Yeah, personally, I think they're pretty amazing, like flavor wise. Yeah, like when you get a treasure token off like a merchant or something, like that that's what's going on.
yeah. Like all the vampires making blood tokens, like it's
kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool to see.
And I feel like they play really well. Like there's so many little synergies that you get from just like having artifacts and sacrificing them. There's just so many interactions with them that I feel like they just play super well. Every one of these tokens that we've had. And again, I'm just mentioning. Yes, food was busted, but it was mostly Oko was busted.
Yeah, I don't think it was food that was busted.
Yeah, well, because we had the food decks instead of for a while, and it gave it a bad name. But
yeah.
Although in Modern, when Modern Horizons 2 came out, for a moment I thought food might be busted.
Yeah, but now there is it is completely gone. It is died.
Yeah. What happened to Asmore?
He forgot how to say his name, and he
True.
he left.
Nobody can be bothered typing it in when they're making the deck.
Yeah. But another thing that I quite like about the tokens is they're physical things on the battlefield. Like in paper,
True.
It feels good to just have things on the battlefield that you can.
That's a good point. Rather than just having an ETB trigger that lets you loot,
exactly.
Having an actual extra like thing to handle is kind of nice.
It's a visual thing. You get to play around with the cards. You get to actually feel the cards, and it adds something to it.
Yeah. So I was having another think about like what other tokens they could do, and like the only two things I could think of were some sort of like more aggressive tokens that actively help you like lower your opponent's life total or something. So like like burn tokens. I don't know what they would do. Like maybe like 3 mana sack it, deal 2 damage to an opponent or something, or like some way to give you like a little bit of reach on some tokens could be kind of interesting. They'd probably have to balance it pretty well.
What's that card called from Ixalan? The Robber. The 3 mana.
No, that's from
Eldraine.
I'm sorry, we were thinking about food tokens. And
it's a 3 mana 2/2, and when it attacks, your opponent gets an 0/1 that deals 1 damage.
Oh yeah, what is that called?
Something
Relic Robber.
Relic Robber. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool idea. They codified that sort of ability where you get like you give your opponent a useless token that pings them every turn.
Yeah, or like a Chandra emblem, the 6 mana one, something like that. Yeah,
I actually quite like that idea because again, I feel like that usually plays pretty well, and it's kind of funny. Like instead of just dealing some damage or something, like giving the physical token again is kind of fun.
Yeah.
You could flavor it like I don't know. I was gonna say a curse, but that's kind of already a thing. A wound token.
Wound token. Ooh.
Yeah, you like stab your opponent, and they like bleed out every turn.
Ooh. That sounds
Hit me up, Wizards.
Yeah.
I like my job, but I'll quit it if it means I get to design Magic cards all day.
I feel like that job is far less cool than what it sounds like.
Yeah, probably. It's probably actually really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially, you know, all the players have been constantly unhappy.
Oh yeah, I feel like at some point you become immune to that kind of thing though. I feel
I
like
don't know. Maybe I just don't have it in me to do that.
I feel like content creation in general,
Yeah.
you have to develop thick skin.
Either that, or you take our time honored approach of having zero regular. Oh no, one regular listener,
have
and
one.
we know him, so he can't. We know him. We hang out with him. So Bohan, thanks for your kind words.
We definitely have not forced him to watch all of our videos.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else? I guess that's kind of the end of the content as written. So it's time for our improv segment.
Improv segment.
Yeah. What do you want to say? Say anything. We got how long do we have roughly? We got some time.
Man, PSG lost to Manchester City, and I was so sad.
What?
I'm a Man City supporter. They're my favorite team.
Return the shirts. Return the shirts.
Yeah, but he's just not playing how he used to. It's so sad.
Oh.
Like they've got the basic PSG have bought the three best. I say probably three of the four best strikers.
Yep.
Or like forwards in the world, and you can see how they play where they're so disconnected to the rest of the team. Where they don't want to go back, they don't want to defend. So now you're left with so many attackers on such a little number of defenders.
Yeah.
And there's just no connection between them. And
you're gonna get two halves of a team rather than a whole.
Exactly, yeah. And the coaches just doesn't know how to handle the power, basically the firepower.
That's kind of a funny way to describe it, but I can see how that would be hard, actually.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of criticism about the play style because it's just so disjointed.
Yeah.
And they're just relying on these forwards to just score goals out of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like they need to have a huddle.
They do. That's fine. They're still going through to the playoffs in the Champions League, so it's okay.
Oh, okay, so there's still a chance. They still got this.
Yeah. Still a chance. Yeah. What do you got to say?
What do I have to say?
It's open mic time. You can say anything.
Open mic time. I should have written a poem for this, or like a rap. I don't know, a magic rap.
No, don't do that.
Speaking of magic music, actually, I was watching a stream. It was one of Aspiring Spike's streams the other day. Actually, yeah, that's kind of a thing I can talk about. I've been messing around, like brewing still with some of the black white lists, and I'm having fun with smallpox variants at the moment. Inspired kind of by Spike's experimentation. There was he did a smallpox reanimator list and a smallpox like one rack list and a couple of other variations, and yeah, all of his lists are really cool. So I've been sort of brewing around, trying to put my own spin on them, and I haven't really come up with something that I feel fully ready to invest into. But I've definitely been having fun with it, so it's been cool to test out. And in one of his streams, he played the song. There's I think it's MTGRemy. I hope I attributed that correctly. But there's a content creator on YouTube that does some really cool like magic based music covers.
Oh, I think I've seen the clip.
Yeah. He's got a cover of what's it? Stacy's mom. But it's all like black white tokens themed, and it's like lingering souls, flashback lingering souls. It's hilarious. It's amazing. I'll try to put a link to the channel in the description as well, just for reference. But oh man, yeah, it was a good time. I've been enjoying watching his streams and just messing around with the decks. It's kind of me.
Nice.
Yeah. I do want to invest in the deck at some point, just so that when Paper Magic starts up again, I'm ready. I can like actually go to events and play something new.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with my limited funds.
Yeah. Although you're getting there, you're almost there.
Yeah, getting there.
You ordered some new cards today, right?
Not today. I bought Solitudes yesterday.
Yes.
I got my 4 Solitudes. Had to sell a kidney for them, but
it's alright, you got 2 for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Man, I cannot wait. I'm so looking forward to going back to events in paper.
Yeah. Actually, one thing we could discuss is content creation.
Yeah.
We were thinking of making some gameplay videos, and
that's true.
For the people that may listen to this, what kind of content would you be wanting to watch?
Oh, segue into our email address.
Oh, yeah, we have one of those.
We have one of those, yeah. Hit us up. What is it again?
I mean, you could just comment on the video.
True. Yeah, I'll put the email address in the description. So,
Sure.
codeacepodcast@gmail.com. Send us your questions. Send us your recommendations for content.
And if you can't be bothered sending an email, just put them in the comments.
Yeah. That's probably the easiest. Like, who even uses email anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's all ads.
But
we were just saying the other day, thank you for your Domino's order. But yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. We're looking to do some content for more gameplay related stuff. I think over the Christmas break, I'm going to be on holiday, and everyone else is going to be back to their families and stuff. So I'm going to be like just lonely sitting at home with nothing to do. I might just make some content. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Got anything else?
No, I think that's all. I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us through this this slow news week and our high quality improvised banter.
I hope we made it somewhat interesting.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And if we didn't, get at us.
Yeah, just roast us.
Yep.
Please.
Gently.
Nah. Go all in.
Yeah, go all in. Roast Collar as much as you want,
Yeah,
and then
bring
maybe
it
roast
on.
me a bit more gently.
Bring it on. Got nothing.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, sweet. Have a good week. All the best. See you next time.
See you guys next week.